welcome to the Evergreen update for June. I'll start off by letting you know that we've got some updates for Copilot, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint, Teams, and some from around Microsoft 365. Let's go and look at Copilot. Let's start by looking at this. This is the new layout for Microsoft Copilot, whether it's Copilot Premium or Copilot Basic. Yeah, everyone's getting this change. First of all, this isn't obvious that this is actually where you expand or collapse the menu on the left-hand side. That's the first change that's coming in. We've got streamlined navigation. I'm delighted to see the app launcher at the top there. It was down in the bottom left-hand corner out of the way, wasn't it? A little bit frustrating when you click on it. It's different to the other app launchers that you launch, but at least it's back. And if you're wondering where your notebooks have disappeared to, your notebooks now live in here as well. So agents. So I like this. So you hover over agents and the way this pops out and you can scroll up or down in here. So that works really nicely actually. I do like that, the way that the agents is laid out. Now, I had someone contact me about this change because the quickest way to tell whether you had premium or basic Copilot was just to look at the work and the web toggle at the top, wasn't it? Well, that's gone now, and people now have this work IQ to turn work IQ on. So your prompt is grounded in your work, or it's not. So by default it is, and you can turn this off. But for me and regular end users, that seems to have caused quite a bit of confusion. So a government department that I work in, the toggle for web or work has disappeared, and that is coming. So maybe if you don't have this yet, maybe flag that one to your colleagues. Richer prompting canvas preserves formatting. So look at this. So we've got the formatting in here. We've got some basic formatting tools. Just before this call, just before this, just before we account this call, I asked Copilot, what's the benefit of basic formatting in the prompt box? And it said that it makes it easier for you to see what you're writing and lay it out, so it's more logical for you. But it said that it also makes it easier to for Copilot to understand what you're doing if you lay it out in a logical way. Whether that's true or not, I don't know yet. I've only just been playing with it, but Copilot believes that is one of the benefits of doing that. Okay, it's interesting looking at the chat. We've got it in Sheffield. Agents still in the old place. So yeah, changing bit by bit. It's interesting to see who's got it and who hasn't got it. So it's always have it now, but due sometime in June to July. Now I didn't show it, and I wish I had, but in the prompt box you'll see 3 little dots on the right hand side. So next time you look at Copilot, you'll see the prompt box comes up. You'll have some suggestions, and you'll have 3 little dots. If you click on there, you're only 1 click away from getting to your saved prompts. Okay, so they used to be quite easy to get to. They changed the layout, and then it was like 3 or 4 clicks to get to your saved prompts, wasn't it? And I think that's pretty worth a good opportunity to revisit with your colleagues that actually, if you've got a good prompt, you can save it, and it's easier now than ever to get to it. I've read 3 little dots here somewhere, and it's really easy to get to your saved prompts. So generally speaking, I do like that change. Although I know end users are getting a bit fatigued, aren't they, actually, with all the change, but that is quite a good one. The updated handling of work entities added to the Copilot chat box has been delayed again, but it should be any time now. I've been talking about this for a long time, haven't I? And the changes, when you add a work entity, so you have some kind of grounding or reference, so you know that it appears at the top. See where number 3 is? So it appears up there. It's going to stop appearing in the chat box. See where the number 2 is? So it doesn't need to appear twice, does it? Once you've added it, it just needs to appear at the top. So that's it's been around knocking around for a while, but just hasn't come out yet. What else do we have? The new M365 Copilot Researcher outputs. I really like Researcher. And I checked before I came on here. And this was due late May, and I double checked. And actually, I don't have the audio overview when I checked, but I do have all these others. And I did, and interestingly, just thinking about my earlier chat with Dimitri, I asked it when I was just testing this. I asked it to do. Give me a brief overview of the BMW 6 GT, because the GT is a peculiar line of cars in the BMW world, and it did it for me. I asked it to create an infographic, and you know what? It was pretty good. So if you need a basic infographic, I think that's worth you checking out. I was really surprised how good it was. Session persistence enhancements for Copilot chat. Again, all of these are delays. See this clock here? It tells you that these are delayed by some period of time. So these enhancements, it just means that when you're doing something in Copilot chat and you go away and do something else, it will be there for longer. Okay, and you'll see this in another app later as well. Just when you come back to your chat, it's more likely to be where you left off. Just a quick one for OneDrive. This icon here, folks, this tells you, this telescope says this is just from the M365 roadmap. And you know the way sometimes we can be a little bit lazy having a name on a file, can't we? Or we just quickly create a file and it kind of evolves beyond what we called it. So Copilot's going to suggest renames for your files based on the content. So I quite like that. I'll be telling you more about that next month, I think. Let's go straight into Outlook. So I tried this just before I came on, and I have it, and it looks quite interesting. It works really well. Just a quick one. It's Copilot's insights in classic Outlook. So let's say that Jenny Jones sends me an email, and there's a term in there. I just don't know what Jenny means by this. You just simply highlight the text, and then you'll get this. It's quite subtle, actually. It's very easy to miss this. It's actually more subtle than it is on my screen there. It says explain this. You click on it. Copilot opens it aside, and it explains what that term is. So just a really simple little change, but actually works really well. And you should have that anytime now, if not by the end of the month. A quick one, some quick updates, slightly delayed to mobile Outlook following a meeting option. So we've been able to follow a meeting for a long time in the browser and in new Outlook. I didn't know you couldn't do it in mobile as well. Anyway, the ability to do that is due anytime now, but into mid-July. The thing I like about the follow a meeting is that if you follow a meeting, when they start the meeting, it tells the organizers that someone's following this, so maybe you should record it or turn on transcript. So if you're hoping to follow up on one, it's quite a good feature. Now this is interesting. So again, this is from the roadmap. Look at the icon; it's further out. Emails marked with external. So a lot of organizations, when an email comes in, they mark it as external so that it's obvious that it's external. Will soon be supported for you to create rules around emails that are external. So this label it's going to get, you'll soon be able to create rules around that. June, I'm not sure it is. I think I'll be telling you about that next month. Another one is further out, all accounts view, having a unified inbox in Outlook of all of your accounts if you've got multiple accounts. So that is quite good. Due August, I'll be telling you about that next month maybe as well. And choosing to show your unread total or your total amount of emails for each folder you've got in Outlook. Honestly, folks, I don't know which is worse. It's telling me how many I haven't read or how many I've got in total. Due at the end of the year, I think I'll be telling you about that in a few months as well. Okie dokie. New entry points for create pages. New entry points for AI-assisted page and news post creation. This is interesting. So this is just another place you can do this. So remember that you've got two options. You can go into Copilot, and there's the SharePoint agent that you can create a page in there, or you can go into SharePoint and you can create it from in there. I did a demo for the Inform team, and I used the same prompt, and I had two browsers open. I did them back to back. We were surprised how good it was. I used it against a slide deck like this, and we're really surprised, actually, if I'm honest, how good it was. Now, it's not the same as having a SharePoint page designer and someone's got a real eye for that. But if you just needed something just for your immediate team, it's actually worth looking at. Anyway, a new entry point for this. So you've got this new layout here. Who's got this new menu? Interested in the chat? You've got this new layout for PowerPoint that I told you about last month. Be interested whether you've got that or you haven't. Just pop that in the chat. Be really interesting. So Dimitri in Germany hasn't. Okay, so yeah, keep sharing, folks. Really interested if anyone has got it. Anyway, I've got into publish here, and now look at this. I've now got this new option here to create a new page inside here. And in the for the site template gallery, I should expect you just once you get into here, the experience is what you'd expect. You can you ask what you want and you put your grounding in. And then I'd say what I do like about the fact that when I was creating using both methods before to create a page, as soon as AI has done what it can do, you can then just switch and you can just edit it as you would normally. So the fact you can just get it through the initial work and then you can hand over for the fine tuning, and you should have that anytime there. Katrina's got it. Just a very quick one. I'm going to whisk for this one quickly. Updates to the SharePoint Pages toolbox within the content pane. It's a bit of a mouthful. So you can see here we're an editor, and we've got it into the toolbox. And look across the top. This is where the changes are. We've just got new tabs for stock images, videos, and recently used. And if you go into there next time you're editing a page, have a little click around. It just feels right. You might not even notice because it feels so right. You might not even notice that it's changed. Okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit for this, and I'm going to tell you what I know about it. I'm going to also just share a disclaimer that I don't have this yet, and I think this is such a big piece of functionality that a slide doesn't do it justice. And I don't think unless you've got early access to it, I don't have it yet, I don't think you'll fully understand it. But this is about AI in SharePoint. It's now just called Copilot in SharePoint. But look at some of this functionality here. I apologize for this screenshot. It's the best one I had at a time. So this is the difference between having Copilot on the side, outside of what you're doing, and it working inside and doing stuff for you. Okay, you can see here that the person has just said they need a place for their team to track stages of a certain set of products and a project that's under development. And it says, based on this, I suggest this. We have a home page, a product pipeline page, a product development tracker page, and product documents. And it lays it out in front of you. And you can see at the top up here, we've got create site. Okay, and you can tweak it and you work on it, Um, it's not just for creating whole pages. You can use it within libraries and lists. And when I think about the changes to the way co-work will go and do stuff for you, and of AIs will actually do stuff and create stuff. In my head, it feels more like that. For site owners, content managers, content creators, and consumers of content. Now, look out for the entry point, the floating Copilot icon in the bottom right hand corner of SharePoint, and then you can get into it and do this stuff. Now, whether you get it in mid-June or not depends on your organization. Some of your organization allows the preview of this type of content, then you'll have it. But even if it doesn't, folks, and I don't have it yet, I think this is worth you looking out for. This video, this is from screenshots from a Microsoft video where they've shared information about it. If anyone knows where that is, it'd be great to pop that in the chat. Just go do some homework, folks. And if anyone knows anything more about that, I'm going to do one more slide, and then I'm going to pause. So if anyone can shed any light on this, if anyone has access to it, I think we'd all appreciate you sharing with us. But anyway, that's one for you to really keep a close eye on, especially thinking about the fact that it can do stuff. It can do stuff inside your SharePoint areas, and I do worry about people who maybe got too many permissions, playing with this and then changing stuff that matters to you. Let's see this next one. So, as part of this, we also have custom skills for Copilot in SharePoint. So you can see here. So this person's done a prompt saying, create a skill to review legal contracts to verify whether the contracts contains a lawyer ID. Okay, and if it hasn't, we want those details put into a list. So think about this scenario. It might be that that Michael Barrett, you've inherited a document library with lots of important documents in there, and it might be that you want this skill to go and check them all, look for certain things. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. Let's give you a closer look. So here's that prompt that you saw a minute ago. And now look at this. It's now creating this skill for you then just to invoke, and it will do stuff. And you can see here what it's doing. It's checking stuff. And then if it's got if it's invalid, okay, it doesn't contain a lawyer ID. Now go and check this list. You see this part here. Go and check this list on the current list. If it doesn't exist, now you add to the list this information here. So it might be that Michael, you as a new item in the list. Now it might be that Michael, you're in charge of this, and you just set it off. Maybe your team are creating these all the time, and instead of having to go into the documents to try and keep track, it automatically creates a list, a Microsoft list for you. And then maybe you have two views, the unresolved view, and that's what you see initially. And when you fixed it, then you just mark it as fixed, and it drops off the view. I think that's a fantastic example of what you could do with this. And it tries to help you by auto-selecting existing views. Remember about 3 months ago, I told you that you could have and edit Markdown files in OneDrive and SharePoint. I think that was paving the way for this type of functionality. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was. It wasn't so you could just randomly create Markdown files. It was somewhere for these type of skills to go. Can't connect to external systems or run custom code, and you should have this early July. If you own news pages, the SharePoint news web part is getting a new film strip option. So we've got the web part. Maybe you just want to make it a bit more exciting looking. You got this new option to put the film strip layout in your news web part. I got there eventually. So it's just a way of maybe just spicing up your pages a little bit. Let's assume that the pages you're bringing through have got nice images like these ones. You should have that by the end of June. You should have this by now. I think most people have, but they keep pushing it back for some people. The ability to ground your Copilot prompts in Microsoft Lists. I love Microsoft Lists. Um, I've always got lists on the go. I find them just so super useful. With between the functionality, having forms over a list, and then so anyone can populate it without having access to it. Then the ability to push that into Teams, maybe. I just think lists are fantastic and maybe a little bit underused. But look at this. We can now, either by doing a prompt or by using a plus sign, we can see our lists. It's listed on the sites there, and we can put our Microsoft lists into our grounding, which is great. Now, so Martin makes a good point about co-work. Yeah, so I apologize. Yeah, so Martin makes a good point. Yeah, so it is with organizations in Microsoft's Frontier program. It's a very good point, Martin. Um, as soon as you get it, I don't know how it's going to roll out. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised they charge more for it. It is so good. I almost feel like I don't care what they'll charge or pay it. It's such a great tool. If anyone wonders why I'm looking across there all the time, I'm looking at the comments. So it's not out yet. Be interesting. The second you can get access to it, folks, make sure you do. Okay, so the new SharePoint web part, you might be aware that when you go into a SharePoint page, you go to AI, there's two web parts. There's now a third one for AI stuff. Create charts on pages with AI. I only got this a few days ago. Let's have a quick look at this. So I said to it, I basically I wanted to just test it so I could get a screenshot. Create sample data. First of all, I told it to create some sample data over 6 months showing visitor numbers and rainfall. So the correlation, so there's a pattern there, and it's made it up. It looks to me like the less it rains, the more visitors we get. But look how nice that chart is. And I think, bear in mind, I did the simplest prompt in the world, um, and I didn't have any proper data for it. I just went into a SharePoint page. I added the AI chart web page. I clicked on it, and then I started talking to it in the chat on the right hand side. I think that's fantastic. Sometimes we don't need to know how to create charts. We just want the outcome, don't we? And I think that's a fantastic new web part. Simpler meeting controls and a smarter share panel for Microsoft Teams. Meeting controls centralized. Now this doesn't quite do it justice because for the purpose of the slide, I had to first the slide I had to just cut this off a little bit, but this set of controls here actually are in the middle. The leave button is over on the right hand side out of the way so you don't accidentally leave your meeting. Remember folks, if you find yourself accidentally clicking that button, you can go into Teams settings and you can tell it to confirm that you want to leave a meeting. Okay, maybe someone can take a screenshot of that setting for me and drop it in the chat. So you can ask it to, when you click leave, and it goes, "Are you sure you want to leave?" "Yes, I am." And you click it again, and then you can leave. And then the lesser used actions, maybe the actions here lesser used, maybe there's a more for the owners and the presenters. They live under more. I tell you what button I can't find. How many times have you been in a meeting and at the end somebody clicks the raise hand by accident well, actually just want to give a thumbs up or a wave, and someone puts their hand up by accident. Now I don't see the hand. I don't see the hands up icon. What I don't know is, what do you think this is? Did this react? Is that an emoji of a smiley face given a high five, or does that tell you that's a combined emoji and a combined hands up, menu? I'm guessing it's the combined one. When you click on there, hopefully it's separate it out. No. Yeah. So it's the combined. Oh, catch it. Someone else has got features I don't have yet. I try and turn everything on so I get things early. Look at the catch reader. So it's the combined. Do you know what I like? I like the fact that that they've separated the. Well, is that separated enough, folks? Do you think? Look at Katerina screenshots. Do you think that's going to stop those accidental hands up that we get? Maybe it will,
It,
you know, because they. I think maybe it will. The fact they were next door to each other was the problem, wasn't it? Thank you, Katerina. Uh, Okie dokie. Let's see what else
they
we got.
used to be combined on the same button.
Yeah,
They've
and
split them and put them back now.
yeah, but Martin, it's like whenever I want a big meeting, it happens almost every meeting. Especially some of the meetings have like I don't know, like 70 or 100 people on them, and over another org, and it always happens. It always happens, and I always feel for the person. The person's like, "Oh, we did it by accident," but they're not the problem. The fact the buttons are next door to each other, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you're all right, Mike. Thank you. All right, let's see what else is going on. Oh, there's some more in this one. You can pin, unpin, and rearrange the controls so you can have these how you want it. I think that's very exciting. And a redesigned share panel. If you just look down here, I can see clearly what I'm going to share, and I have to confirm it by selecting the share button. So that's just going to stop some accidental shares, which I think is good. Okay, new, muted, and meeting chat sections. I really like this actually. So picture this previously with the filters at the top next to unread. Um, meeting chats is going to get its own section here. And this is off by default. You need to go into your settings, chats and channels, and then say you want to see meeting chats in their own section. I've turned this on. Everywhere I can, I've turned this on already. I much prefer meeting chats in their own section here. I find it just so much easier because when you filter this by chat and you deselect meetings, it's easy to forget that you're in that you have that filter on. So I much prefer that. That's an optional one. By default, though, your muted chats are going to go into this section, into their own section, which I think is great as well. Um, anything that you've favorited on your own sections isn't affected by this. And of course, you can drag and drop these sections around if you want them in a different order. Folks, that should be available to you now. That should be available to you now, and then you can have that just how you want it. Quick share for images. I apologize, these images aren't amazing, folks. Just very quickly, you can see that we've got this new option here. Oops, number one, this new option here. You're in a chat or a channel. There's an image there you'd like to share, and we have the option to properly share it. So not just take a screenshot or copy it. You can share it as a file. Folks, just a quick one, but you should have that by the end of the month. Standardized preview experience for PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. I'm not going to say much about this. It's just that it's when you see the preview for desktop and mobile platforms, it's just going to be much more standardized. Look at that. Those are almost the same for those different apps, and that's obviously the mobile version. Late June, you might not even notice it because something's just going to be fractionally better. Viva Connections app. It's been renamed the SharePoint app. So I've checked this actually in one of the places that work. This hasn't changed yet. So you can see here the Connections app is getting rebranded SharePoint. I don't know about you folks. I just always struggled with the Viva branding for the functionality. I don't know if you think maybe some of you loved it, or maybe you didn't, but I always struggled with the Viva branding. I have to be honest. So for me, this isn't such a terrible change. Okay, so Microsoft's renaming the Connections app to SharePoint, and what I'll say. But if your organization has changed the icon and you've changed the name, then this won't happen. It's not going to override what you've already done. But if it's just by default in your organization, then it's going to get renamed. A couple of quick ones. New file download manager in Teams. Still change. Should have it by the end of the month. When you download a file in Teams, it's only going to appear for 4 seconds, and it's going to be easier. And then you can just carry on what you're doing. It'll just appear for a few seconds. You then carry on, and it's going to be much easier. It'll let you know when it has been downloaded, and it's going to be easy to get to your downloads. Support for disabling file previews in Microsoft Teams. So you know if you share a file in a chat or in a channel, you see the preview. It takes up a lot of space, doesn't it? And I don't think I've ever clicked it. So personally, I think I'll be disabling my file previews, but you will soon have the choice. Private chat for organizers and presenters in structured meetings. I've been talking about this since December. So it might be the four of us are having working on a webinar, and someone wants to say, Mark, you're running out of time. You need to get a bit of a wriggle on. So instead of giving some kind of signal, we've got this other chat on this other screen, and we can communicate that way. It looks great, but it keeps getting pushed back. Mid-August is the latest date. Context preservation in Microsoft Teams. So it might be that I'm in the middle of a chat or I'm doing something over here in Teams. I can then move away from it. And then for up to 30 minutes, when I go back to that area, it will still be where I left it. So it might be that I'm looking at a chat, or I'm drilling down into a conversation. Whatever I do, maybe it's in chat or it's in Teams or whatever, for 30 minutes, whatever I was doing, when I come back to that part of Teams, it will be where I left it, and I can just have to start again. Rather than starting again, I can just carry on where I left off. You should have that by the end of June. Again, you might not even notice that. It might be so subtle that you don't even notice. New experience when minimizing the Teams meeting window. Pushback for some of us. You might already have it, but it just means that you've got this full set of controls here. See in the middle of my screen. So if someone says my name and I'm doing something else, I can very quickly react like I was paying attention. Introducing efficiency mode. So this looks interesting. So at the moment, computers are getting more and more expensive, aren't they, because of the RAM and storage shortages. So this might be a good thing. Efficiency mode just means that your Teams will just do, if it realizes that you've got a weak processor, you haven't got a lot of resources, it will load less. It will send less traffic. The video will be low quality, so it's just going to maybe make life a bit easier on low powered machines. The removal of EXIF data, so thinking about location, date, and the device that took a photograph, for example, that's all getting stripped out of photographs that you share in Microsoft Teams, and that is going to happen automatically. And if it's not happened already for your area, it should happen by the end of June. Folks, we're going to just skip straight into what's happening around Microsoft 365, mainly PowerPoint. The Flux.2 Flex image model, that is a mouthful, is available in PowerPoint. So PowerPoint has often struggled with words, hasn't it? Sorry, Copilot has much better than it used to be, but this apparently is even better. So let's have a look at this, how you use this model. So we're going to at the top up here. So we don't want it to be an auto in PowerPoint because we want to choose what the image generator. So you see all these models now, or you may, but I want to choose a separate model for the images, and down here I can choose the Flux.2 Flex. So go and try that out, folks. It'd be interesting to see whether you're getting better images. If anyone knows, if anyone has tried that already and you've got an experience of that, please put that in the chat. It'd be great to hear what you actually think about it. So that's available now. And Copilot's visualize this slide skill in PowerPoint. While I'm showing this one, folks, if anyone knows what the massive gotcha is with this feature, pop it in the chat. Be interested to see whether anyone else has had the same experience. Okay, so look at this. Before I start, that slide on the left-hand side, I asked it to do its magic on it, and that's what I got on the right-hand side. So let's go through this. So I'm going to say I've selected a slide, I've opened Copilot. So now I'm going to double check that I've allowed editing. I'm going to open the Add Content option, go down to All Skills, and the skill that I'm going to choose is Visualize this slide. Okay, and then it will work on it. I'll do it. It's out already. Just a reminder, here's the before and after. Anyone know what the gotcha is? It's a picture. It's not editable. This is a picture that it puts on the slide. I'd love to be able to come and tweak the words and tweak here, maybe move these around a little bit, change the title. It's fantastic and it looks great, but it's just an image. Okay, almost this feels like a related feature. Review this presentation. A related review this presentation. So I've done a similar thing. I've selected a presentation. I'm opening the skills. Let me go back on all skills. Review this presentation. Review it, and it'll go through it, and it'll work through it and tell you all about it. I've got to be honest, right? I ran it on one of mine, and I was a bit like, "Ooh, you had more to say than I expected." And you weren't as gentle as I expected. It's quite strong actually, with the fact that it thought that a couple of my slides were pointless. It's so go and check that out, folks. It's definitely worth a look. It just helps you improve your slides. Okay. Um, Couple of things before we wrap up. Use Copilot to explain selected slide content in PowerPoint Live. I often, not always, but I often like to show different screens. So I don't use PowerPoint Live, but I notice some people absolutely love it. The ability for people to click on the links on there. I think we talked about this before that I struggle with it a little bit. I much prefer being able to show other things. But anyway, look at this. This is quite an interesting one. Let's say that Caro, you're doing a presentation for me, and I'm enjoying your presentation, and you're using PowerPoint Live, and I don't understand a certain term. I can highlight it, select explain this, a bit like the functionality we saw in Outlook, and then down the side, Copilot will tell me all about this term. I think that's fantastic. Lock-free co-authoring in Microsoft Word. Maybe for whatever reason you want to edit the same paragraph as someone else. Maybe I'm working with Martin and we want to fight over the same paragraph. You're going to be able to do that. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you can. Mid-May to early June. It has to be a big paragraph to make that worthwhile. Power Automate. You folk who are accidentally deleting your flows, then you're going to be able to restore those. Um, and it just keeps getting pushed back, doesn't it? Copilot chat in Microsoft Forms, the ability having the Copilot icon floating in the bottom in Forms, it does such a great job of helping you understand the results. Okay, so it's a shame that's got pushed back. Maybe we've all got it now because it says early June, doesn't it? So if we haven't got that yet, that will be soon.